Pre-Socratics. Adam, or Pandora. Scriptures claim that Adam was made by God and that they had a personal relationship, and that God was in human form when talking to Adam. While the Greek oral tradition has Pandora created by Prometheus. Imhotep. Imhotep was an ancient Egyptian architect. He had to know math. Alright, we're just sort of spitballing some stuff about everything before Socrates. Uh, Sargon of Akkad. Sargon is supposed to be from 2300 BC. Hammurabi. Hammurabi is supposed to have the first code of laws predating Moses. As if, laws are a huge achievement of culture and society. Just like legalism. We should have talked about legalism more, with Confucianism and Taoism. Thales. Thales predicted an eclipse or something, or like something to do with grain, just like Joseph, king of dreams in Egypt. Maybe one is stealing a false legacy from the other. Thales believed water was the Arche. Everything is water in different forms. Confucius has an entire philosophy that we call Confucianism. Laozi is a Taoist, alleged author of the Tao Te Ching, a spiritual poem of Taoism. The Jade Emperor and Eight Immortals, a spiritual China myth. Sun Tzu, military leader, author of The Art of War. Sun Tzu believed in heaven and earth, and they call heaven Tien, but he didn't believe that spirits and oracles could give credible information for armies, and that battles are determined only on a physical scale. Siddhartha Gautama sat under a tree and was the first Buddha, a skinny guy with hair, and his tranquil state of mind and poetic sayings spread throughout India and Asia as the religious philosophy of Buddhism. Pythagoras, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, talking about finding the length of triangles by finding the sum of two squares, but then you still need to find the square root. Xenophanes seems to suggest, like Socrates, the confusion in believing with his criterion of truth, doubting and not knowing something that the individual only imagined, but does insist that there is a true reality. That's an affirmative thought. The gods have not, of course, revealed all things to mortals from the beginning, but rather, seeking in the course of time, they discover what is better. Yet, with respect to the gods, and what I declare about all things, no man has seen what is clear, nor ever will any man know it. Nay, for an should he chance to affirm what is really existent, he himself knoweth it not, for all is swayed by opening. But if cattle and horses and lions had hands, or could paint with their hands, and create works such as men do, horses like horses, and cattle like cattle, also would depict the gods' shapes and make their bodies of such a sort as the form they themselves have. And yeah, there probably are spirits for every species. Uh, God is one eternal being, spherical in form, comprehending all things within himself, is the absolute mind and thought, therefore is intelligent and moves all things, but bears no resemblance to human nature either in body or mind. Alright, that was Xenophanes, sorta. And then apparently there's also a Xenophon, and these are just names, so sometimes people have similar sounding names, or there are multiple people with the same name. Heraclitus believed in the Logos. I think that he means formulas can measure natural phenomena or something. Thales, water. Anaximenes, air. Heraclitus, fire. I got no idea what I'm talking about. Anaximander talks about the Apeiron, which is like the world of appearances and how you just bump into each other and appear, and then when you leave another person's senses, we disappear, out of sight, out of mind. Parmenides, out of nothing, nothing comes. Zeno's paradoxes of motion, philosophy of time, A theory and B theory, the way of truth, perception versus the logos, and proem. Empedocles wanted to end animal sacrifice and killing animals for food and believed in reincarnation. Anaxagoras said all things have existed in some way from the beginning, but originally they existed in infinitesimally small fragments of themselves, endless in number and combined throughout the universe. Protagoras. In Plato's dialogues, we find Protagoras reciting rhetorical wisdom with crowds of people following him, but then Plato's character of Socrates asks Protagoras to define the virtues, and Protagoras just ignores him as if no one is talking to him at all. Atoms, elements, and gods. So, just with your understanding, try to think air, fire, water, and earth make up all things and exist in everything, and that everything is artistic expression of gods. And also think about atoms, and just imagine the smallest amount of things and try to find something that you can keep breaking apart until you can't cut it anymore.